Emily Parker's heart pounded as she crouched beside Luna, her German shepherd, who was panting heavily on the padded whelping bed. The air was thick with tension every second, stretching longer than the last. Luna's amber eyes darted anxiously toward Emily, searching for reassurance. "You can do this." "Girl," Emily whispered, her hands trembling as she stroked Luna's fur. Sweat slicked her palms, though it wasn't her body fighting contractions, it was Luna's. The first cry broke the silence. A slick, squirming puppy slid into the world, and Emily's breath caught in her throat. Relief washed over her, but only for a heartbeat. The room felt charged, as though something unseen lingered in the shadows. Dr. Harris moved with practiced calm, checking the newborn, then guiding it back to Luna. One by one, more puppies came, each one greeted with tears of joy and whispered encouragement. By the fifth, Emily thought the storm had passed, but Luna tensed again. Her body shuddered violently, harder than before. Her breathing grew ragged and a low, desperate whine escaped her throat. Emily's pulse spiked. Something was wrong. She could feel it in her bones. This wasn't just another puppy. Whatever was coming next carried with it a weight that would change everything. Emily's heart pounded in her chest as she stared at the tiny creature in Dr. Harris's hands. It wasn't a puppy. It wasn't even close. The newborn kitten let out a fragile mewl, its orange and white fur slick and trembling. This can't be," Emily whispered, her voice cracking. Her eyes darted to Luna, who lay exhausted but calm, tail thumping weakly against the table. The German shepherd didn't hesitate. She reached forward, licking the kitten with the same devotion she had shown her 5 puppies. Dr. Harris shook his head, slowly, disbelief etched across his face. "Biologically, this shouldn't be possible," he murmured. "Dogs don't give birth to kittens." Emily's throat tightened. Then how? The vet exchanged a look with his nurse. Sometimes maternal instinct is stronger than logic. Maybe Luna found this kitten before labor carried it here, and her body accepted it as her own. Emily dropped to her knees beside Luna, tears pricking her eyes. She watched as the kitten nestled between the puppies, seeking warmth. Luna curled protectively around all 6 babies. No hesitation, no division. Emily pressed a trembling hand to Luna's fur. "You're not just a mother," she whispered. "You're a miracle." And in that moment, Emily realized the Truth family wasn't defined by blood or species. It was defined by love. Emily sat in the corner of the clinic, her hands pressed against her face, trying to steady her racing thoughts. The soft chorus of squeaks and tiny mews filled the room. 5 puppies and 1 kitten, all nestled safely against Luna's belly. But Emily's mind couldn't let go of the impossible. How could this happen? Dr. Harris paced slowly, glancing at the ultrasound machine still flickering in the corner. "Emily, I'll admit I've never seen anything like this in my career. Dogs don't just deliver kittens. It defies science." Emily looked up, her eyes shimmering with both awe and fear. "Then explain it, please." The vet sighed. "The most logical possibility, Luna discovered this kitten abandoned somewhere just before labor. Her instincts are powerful. She might have carried it in, and her body simply treated it as one of her own." Emily's throat tightened as she remembered Luna disappearing into the yard days ago, returning with something clutched carefully in her mouth. At the time, Emily thought it was just an old sock. But what if it hadn't been? Her gaze fell on Luna again. The German shepherd's eyes glowed with calm certainty as she licked the kitten, nudging it closer to her warm fur. The puppies shuffled without protest, accepting the little outsider as if it had always belonged. Emily exhaled shakily. Maybe miracles weren't meant to be explained. She leaned closer, whispering, "Luna, you're teaching me something I never knew. That love isn't about rules, it's about choice." And as the kitten purred softly against its new siblings, Emily realized this moment was bigger than science. It was a lesson about love without limits. It didn't take long for the story to escape the quiet walls of Dr. Harris's clinic. A nurse had snapped a photo Luna curled around 5 wriggling puppies and 1 tiny orange kitten, and by morning, it was everywhere. Emily awoke to the sound of her phone buzzing nonstop. Messages, calls, and notifications filled the screen. Friends, neighbors, even strangers were asking, "Is it true? Did Luna really give birth to a kitten?" By midday, a local reporter knocked on Emily's door. "We heard something extraordinary happened here. Would you be willing to share?" Emily hesitated. She didn't want Luna or the babies overwhelmed, but when she looked down and saw Luna calmly nursing her mixed brood, She realized the story wasn't just hers. It was a lesson the world needed to see. Soon neighbors gathered at the fence, whispering in awe as they caught glimpses of the unusual family. Some smiled, calling it a miracle. Others shook their heads, insisting it was a trick or mistake. Through it all, Luna remained unbothered. Her only focus was love, nuzzling each pup, licking the kitten, and making no distinction between them. Emily stood by her side, her heart swelling. For the first time, she understood what Luna was showing. Everyone, family isn't about blood, it's about belonging. The miracle spread like wildfire, but so did the doubts. Within days, Emily began receiving messages not just of wonder, but of disbelief. It's fake, impossible, you must have staged it. Even some veterinarians publicly claimed that such a birth couldn't happen, that Emily was either mistaken or lying for attention. Dr. Harris, who had been there during the delivery, stood by her. "I know what I saw," he told reporters firmly. Yet the skepticism grew louder, amplified by online voices demanding proof. One afternoon, as Emily walked Luna in the garden, a stranger stopped at the gate. His voice carried a sharp edge. "Are you the one claiming your dog gave birth to a kitten? That's nonsense." Emily's chest tightened. She wanted to shout back, but before she could, Luna calmly lay down, letting the kitten nestle between her puppies. The scene was undeniable, a family bound not by logic, but by love. Tears filled Emily's eyes. "You can doubt me," she whispered, "but don't doubt her." In that moment, Emily realized the miracle wasn't meant to convince the world. It was meant to teach it that love can silence even the harshest voices of doubt. Weeks passed, and the storm of controversy slowly gave way to something stronger. The tiny kitten, once fragile and mewing, grew healthier under Luna's watchful care. She nursed alongside her puppy siblings, played clumsily in their pile of fur, and followed Luna with the same trust as if she had been born from her. The world watched in awe. News stations ran the story, and families everywhere sent letters to Emily saying how the sight of Luna's unlikely family gave them hope in their darkest times. Some called it a miracle, others a mystery, but all agreed it was unforgettable. Emily no longer cared about the skeptics. Every evening as she sat in her living room, watching Luna curl protectively around her 6 little ones, 5 puppies, and 1 unexpected kitten, she felt a truth deeper than science. "This is what love looks like," she whispered. "Not limited by rules, not defined by what should or shouldn't be, but pure, unconditional, boundless." The kitten nestled safely between its siblings, purred softly, and Luna, with calm amber eyes, looked up at Emily as if to remind her sometimes the heart knows no boundaries. Sometimes life surprises us in ways we never expect. Emily prepared for 5 puppies, but instead, she and Luna welcomed something more, an abandoned kitten accepted without hesitation. What does this teach us? That love doesn't need rules. True love doesn't ask if someone looks like us, comes from where we do, or even belongs to the same world. It simply accepts, protects, and nurtures. Luna didn't stop to question. She just loved. And maybe that's the miracle. When we open our hearts to the unexpected, we find family, hope, and meaning in places we never thought possible. So, when life brings you something or someone you didn't plan for, remember Luna. Choose love. Choose acceptance. Because sometimes the greatest miracles happen when we refuse to draw lines around our compassion.